Could Genjutsu work on characters from One Piece? Genjutsu only works on chakra users. Genjutsu users have to inject their chakra. Are these claims true? Well, no. There are several other instances where Itachi's mastery of just basic Sharingan is demonstrated without direct eye contact. For example, in this scene here, Itachi uses finger Genjutsu to trap Naruto without needing eye contact. Simply by pointing at a character, Itachi was able to manipulate them and put them into Genjutsu. Now, Genjutsu is explained earlier in the series to basically manipulate the chakra system within different characters, showing that direct eye contact isn't always necessary to cast a powerful illusion, but the illusion is created by messing with their chakra system. And this was because Itachi's mastery of Genjutsu was so powerful that he was able to control people without eye contact. In addressing the comment where you have to inject your chakra in order to take over them, that is specific to the Tsukuyomi. So when we're talking about basic Genjutsu, that is not the case. Another crows to cast Genjutsu on Sasuke. By using the crows, he envelops Sasuke in Genjutsu, which further demonstrates Itachi's versatility. It's not just fingers, he could use crows, he could also use his eye contact, or he can inject his chakra. There's multiple ways that he can use Genjutsu to trigger this reaction of illusions. Another example, just remember if you ever feel useless, that Kurenai tried to use Genjutsu on Itachi. So Itachi traps Kurenai in her own Genjutsu. The level of Genjutsu you have to have during their first encounter. So there's no eye contact required here either. He just literally catches her in a Genjutsu. Once again, showcasing that Itachi doesn't need to touch, doesn't need to necessarily make eye contact. He can cast Genjutsu through using other people's Genjutsu. And it only goes up from there. When we start talking about some of the Boruto top tiers, Genjutsu becomes even more impressive. In fact, it becomes Shinjutsu. But let's stick to the Naruto since the question was about the Naruto verse. The fact that he can use non-visual triggers, so no eye contact, such as fingers, crows, or even just using the Genjutsu of others, shows how powerful base Genjutsu is in the right hand. Another example of it depends on the person using Genjutsu as to what makes it effective is Obito. Obito used base Genjutsu to control the Nine-Tails Fox, who was stated to be capable of turning the world to ash. This is the Nine-Tails, by the way. Effectively, the Nine-Tails was as powerful as Whitebeard. If we're going to compare statements, they both had these statements saying that they could destroy the earth. The Nine-Tails was supposedly powerful enough to destroy the world. Obito, because he was so gifted with using the Sharingan, was able in base to put the Nine-Tails Fox into a Genjutsu. Even if they have a Nine-Tails amount of power or chakra, that's not enough to protect you from a powerful Genjutsu user like Itachi or Obito. Mind you, Killer Bee even explained that it's impossible to catch a Jinchuriki in Genjutsu because Kurama would make somebody immune if he was the host. For example, Naruto has Kurama inside, right? So he's the Jinchuriki. Now, Kurama could wake up the host or Naruto, making him immune. So if Naruto was to ever fall into Genjutsu, Kurama would simply wake him up. But here's the thing. Itachi literally caught Naruto with base Sharingan by just pointing his fingers. So if Killer Bee said that you're immune to Genjutsu because you have a tailed beast inside of you, Itachi topped that immunity. That's how powerful his Genjutsu is. So in short, you don't need to inject, nor see, nor even touch people to catch them in Genjutsu. If you're Itachi, you can just, whatever wins, whatever works. You want to use their illusion to make your illusion, do that. Itachi literally could use almost anything to create the illusion. And basically, once you're trapped in Itachi's Genjutsu, you'll just be seeing some ridiculous thing on loop like this. Now let's talk about an interesting cross-verse question. Could Genjutsu work on characters in other verses like One Piece? At first glance, it seems impossible. People in One Piece don't have chakra. But let's break it down. In chapter 90, page 3, we learn that chakra in Naruto is a combination of physical and spiritual energy. Now I know what you're thinking. The official Viz translation or the English translation from TV says mental energy, and that's how it was translated consistently. But in the original Japanese, it's referred to as seishin energy. Alright, in post-recording, I checked this, and it's actually seishin energy, which means spiritual energy. This is an important distinction. So I will always take the raw translation over anything else because, for example, planetary devastation. That is not what Chibaku Tensei means. Like, they change things to appeal to English-speaking audience. Here's a perfect example of this. Look at Harry Potter. Americans would tell you that the first book of the Harry Potter series is called The Sorcerer's Stone. But to the rest of the world, it was translated or it was changed, or the original name of the book is actually The Philosopher's Stone, and they changed it to Sorcerer's Stone because they thought Americans wouldn't understand what the word philosopher meant. Kind of a bit sad, but anyways, the same thing happens in anime. Like, the reason why it's not Chibaku Tensei or Planetary Devastation, it doesn't actually destroy a planet. They just wanted to make it sound cool, and so they changed the name. Similar to this, they changed it to mental energy instead of spiritual energy. Now, when we're comparing the Naruto verse to One Piece Haki, or Chakra to Haki, in One Piece, Haki is described as a form of dormant spiritual energy present in all living things. Let me just reiterate that. Spiritual energy present in all living things. Sound familiar? Well, chakra was, as I explained before, using that manga panel, is the combination of spiritual and physical energy. In other words, whenever someone uses a chakra-based ability or an attack, these are the equivalent of using a spiritual attack, like Haki. Because Haki represents spiritual energy. So yin release, for example, is literally spiritual release in Japanese. Like they're using spirit energy to power some of these abilities from Naruto. Theoretically, Itachi could use Genjutsu on One Piece characters, as they possess spiritual energy as well. Even if they don't have chakra, like in the Naruto sense, but we have to look at the root meaning of what chakra is, as explained repeatedly throughout the Naruto series. That, just to remind people, that chakra isn't just this Naruto energy system. Chakra is actually something that everybody has, which is spiritual and physical energy. Like spiritual energy being like willpower and belief and all this kind of stuff, and mental strength and fortitude. Whereas physical energy is like literally taijutsu type stuff. Like think Rock Lee, Might Guy. They specifically harness that physical energy into taijutsu. But when you mix the two of physical and spiritual, you get ninjutsu or genjutsu. We can theorize, as long as a character possesses spiritual energy like Haki in One Piece, they could fall victim to genjutsu. It's not just about having chakra, it's about the essence of spiritual energy itself. So if you have spiritual energy, a chakra user that uses genjutsu, or a genjutsu user, should I say, would be able to mess with your spiritual energy and use your spiritual energy just like Itachi used Kurenai's spiritual energy, aka her genjutsu, against her. The same is true for, like, let's say you had an ability called Haki, which allows you to observe the future and all kinds of things. What happens if that observed future was messed up by Genjutsu? So instead of perceiving the real future, you were seeing lies, you were seeing illusion. Imagine if all the Haki users weren't able to use their observation Haki because Genjutsu was messing with the spiritual energy. Getting rid of their Haki will basically get rid of all of their Haki observation speed advantage, and they will lose all of their speed. Like, they will all become extremely slow. Like, we're talking like before the time skip level slow. So they will all be like slower than light, because it's not until after the time skip where they start using Haki more often that characters are starting to perform faster than light attacks. Without their observation Haki, Genjutsu users very much could impair their ability to use that future sight, or could even provide illusions of fake future sight. This brings me back to the beginning question of this video. In your opinion, do you think Genjutsu could affect other anime verses? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any other cross-verse theories and breakdowns. And let me know in the comments what anime characters you think could survive Itachi's Genjutsu. Anyways, thanks for watching, and if you have any requests, hit me up on Instagram. I tend to respond to my DMs there. Or you can leave a message in the comments. Anyways, peace!